So let's talk about discovering your voice. You contribute your growth as an artist to trial and error. Can you tell me more about this?
When I was in high school, I always just loved carving. I could take my time, I could sit there and mess around and have fun. And then when I got out and before I even got into college, I was throwing a lot and I was carving a lot. And then once you get into the BFA program, they want you to do this and they want you to try that and they want to take you out of your comfort zone. And so got, I got to the point where I was just making a lot of work just because, I'll do this or do that instead of like focusing on carving. And then once I graduated, I realized like I don't want to be just that functional potter that just makes the same old thing time and time again. And then I did an art festival, and on a break, I started walking up and down, right? And like I thought I had these great pots, right? I did some slip trailing on the outside, but I had copper reds and some chinos and some blues, rutile blues, and all this other stuff. And I went to the next booth, down, and what did they have? Copper reds and some blues, and you go to the next booth, and what do they have? And then you go to the next booth, and what do they have? And it was, I sat there and I questioned like, what am I doing, right? Like, do I want to just make the same work that all these other potters are doing, or do I want to actually be able to stand out away from all the other potters? And I got back into, well, like, who am I as an artist? How much time do I want to spend making this stuff, right? And so that was the moment where I was like, yeah, let's go back to carving. Let's go back to finding your voice and getting back to who you are. And so that's where it started me and pushed me, was getting back into it. Was the car was that show, and I was like, I can't be the same potter as everybody else. My work has to separate because I have to separate, or else, my pot and my work is just going to be associated with, Joe Johnson, down the road, and I didn't want that. So going back to carving was the first step in finding my voice.
Absolutely love that. Shaping Nation, do not be afraid to separate yourself from everybody else. A lot of people are going to be making the same thing over and over again, but if you could separate yourself from them, your voice is truly going to start showing up. I love that so much.
And